Hey guys, today we have an exciting new collaboration with LiTime. We actually purchased LiTime batteries about a year ago for our motorhome. I decided on purchasing LiTime batteries after I did a bunch of research, reviews from other people, and the big thing is LiTime made a mini battery which fit really well in our situation, just the size of the battery compared to a lot of other ones out there. And we've had great results with these LiTime batteries. They've held up well. They perform well. They're kind of a game changer in our solar system. So when LiTime reached out to us to do a collaboration, we said, yeah. And they've come out with quite a few new products since we got our batteries a year ago, this being one of them. So let's open the box and have a look. You always get your nice Ziploc bag with instructions. Bolts for the power terminals. A well-packaged battery. Surprise, it's a battery. So this is a little bigger size than the mini batteries we have in the camper. This is a Group 24, so a standard Group 24 size battery, which is very common. But this battery is 100 amp hour, the same as our minis, but this is a smart Bluetooth, so we don't need a battery monitor to see the status of this battery. And it's also automatic self-heating. So as most people know, lithium batteries can't be charged when they're below freezing temperatures. If they're inside your motorhome and your motorhome's heated, not a big deal. In this situation though, where we're going to mount this battery, it's going to be external on the truck and it will be subjected to colder temperatures in the winter time. Being self-heating, when the battery needs charging, it'll use that charging power to heat the battery first and then charge the battery so no damage is done. So because we're going to mount this as our auxiliary battery in our truck, which runs the inverter in the truck, not the camper, we need to charge this lithium battery separately from our truck batteries. So how are we going to do that, you ask? With a DC to DC charger, of course. So LiTime has sent us this DC to DC charger, which will be running power from our charging system of our truck to this DC to DC charger, and then it is going to handle taking care of the lithium battery charging. So we'll be mounting this inside the truck and this in the battery tray with the other batteries of the truck. Let's get to it. So on the Chevy Kodiak, the starting batteries are under the passenger side footwell. This slides out. I did have one deep cycle lead acid battery here, which I've already taken out, because we're replacing it with the lithium. We're going to eliminate our battery separator here. This is the unit that once the truck batteries were charging, it was putting the deep cycle into place so they weren't connected together all the time. But that's going to be removed and all taken care of by the DC to DC charger now. So we'll get this battery installed in there and move along. So I've run my cables already down towards the battery, and I got them coming up through the hole in the floor of the cab here. I'm going to mount. I've already put a piece of plywood on the back wall. I didn't have time to paint it, but I will later, I promise. So I'm going to mount this inverter, or sorry, this DC to DC charger on that piece of plywood. Recommended to mount this way. It can also be mounted vertically, but we're going to mount it the recommended way because we have room. I'm going to hook up my cables here before I mount it on the wall. That way I don't have to take the back seat out right now. I'll be able to get my everything hooked up easily and then screw it to the wall. I've used 6-gauge cable. I don't really need 6-gauge cable because I'm only going to charge, I'm going to current limit this to 20 amps. It's capable of 40 as you can see, but there is a jumper in the end. You can bring it down to 20 amps. This 100 amp hour battery recommended to charge at 20 amps. I would imagine it could take 40, but it's recommended 20. So I'm going to charge it at 20. That should be fine. So I have the battery in there. My cables are down here in the battery compartment. Nothing hooked up yet. So we don't have power up here yet. So I'm going to hook everything up here before I hook things up on that end. So I have the DC to DC charger hooked up to our 6-gauge cables going down to our battery compartment. I do like the input terminals. Nice beefy with a nut on the bottom. Well protected. And then on the house battery side, we have stud terminals. Not as big of a fan. They're not as well protected, but they are a good, robust 8mm bolt. So now that the wires are connected to the DC to DC charger in here, we're going to go up to the front. First step is to connect the house battery to the DC to DC charger. So we have our house battery wires here. We're going to connect them to our house battery. So we have the wires hooked to the house battery, negative to the inverter and charger, positive to the inverter and charger through a main fuse block. I've checked for power at our DC to DC charger, so we're all good on that side. That's step number 1. Okay, so the negative is on the starting batteries, the positive is on the starting battery. Extra wires are winch wires. One thing to note, if you are running a winch on your vehicle, you don't want to power it off of your lithium battery unless you have like a lithium starting battery that can handle that kind of amp flow. Big winch on this thing probably can pull 400 or 500 amps, which is a little too much for a battery like that. So we run that to the starting batteries. I should have a circuit breaker on the positive side here, which I don't yet, but I will be adding one. Battery connections are all made. House battery to one side, starting batteries to the other. Battery type is selected. Next step is to install our jumper cables. Included with the charger are mounting screws and jumper wires. We need to put a jumper on the 2 left terminals, which is power on basically. So that powers up the charger. And then we're going to connect the 2 right terminals, which are low current. I don't know if you can see, but it says LC. And so that brings this from a 40 amp charger down to a 20 amp charger. So we're going to do that. Then we'll be powered on and ready to charge at 20 amps. Okay, so we got things hooked up and we have the battery charging off the DC to DC charger. The app is showing about 20 amps, which is what we want. So I just want to make sure everything's charging before I mount the DC to DC charger. As far as the app goes, we'll cover that more in the review video. This is just the install. So we have the DC to DC charger all tucked away behind the seat here and doesn't interfere with any of my storage. And it should cool nice, lots of room in there for airflow. Now that we have our install complete of our LiTime 40 amp DC to DC charger in the back of the cab and our Group 24 LiTime smart battery in the battery tray under the truck, we're going to head out on the road for a few weeks, do some real world testing and compare this lithium battery setup to our old lead acid battery setup we had in the truck previously. In the meantime, if you'd like to buy any LiTime products, you can use our 6% discount code, and there's also a link in the description of this video. So let's hit the road and test these things out.